Hi, I'm Mel, and today is a special. We actually have an episode full of Reddit updates.
I'm Marie, and prepare for some wild stories.
And I'm May, and trust me, you're going to be really, really shocked with some of these stories.
Yep, even more shocked than how May sounds. Okay. Okay, so get comfy and cozy with us as we go through these updates. And also, ain't you lucky you're seeing us twice this week? Okay, so first story is from me. It's Am I the Asshole story. Am I the asshole for moving on so quickly after my husband left me?
Nabi.
My 47 female husband, 47 male, asked me for a separation on our 14th anniversary.
On
What-
the day.
Wow.
Well, yeah, while we were away in a foreign country to celebrate. While we weren't as close as we used to be, we almost never fought and generally enjoyed each other's company and families. We do not have any children. The night before our anniversary, he brought up he wasn't very happy in the relationship but didn't know why. The next morning, I asked to see his phone and he said no. He said I would find flirty messages from one or more women on it. He had made some female friends from school and work, and he said felt that there might be someone out there who was a better fit for him.
Or you
I
want to cheat.
said I said I did not want to do a trial separation as I don't believe you can work on something if you aren't living together.
Yeah.
If he wanted to separate, it would be final. He understood but said it was something he had to do. After being away for only 2 days, we rebooked our flights home, flew home, and he packed some belongings and left. 7 days later, he asked to come home and we started marriage counselling. He had a lot of trouble admitting he had at least one emotional affair. The counselling was not helpful. He was defensive and not open to it. I suspect something physical happened with the other woman, but I do not have any proof. He had deleted all of his flirty texts, Snapchat, etc., so I could not see them. After 4 weeks of living together again and attending counselling sessions, he decided he no longer wanted to try to save the marriage and he was leaving. He packed up and left a few hours later. He stayed with a friend and found a new apartment and signed a 1-year lease. I was devastated and even had to take time off work to process what had happened and attend individual counselling. After 4 weeks, I started to feel a bit better. I went out for drinks with a group of 4 co-workers that live in my area and found I really enjoyed one of them, 42 male.
Hey.
lot.
Come on, girl.
I had only
I
met
love
him.
that word, enjoy.
Listen, I had only met him over Zoom before this. We started seeing each other a couple of times a week. Quite quickly, it grew into a truly amazing, loving relationship.
Love that.
I've stayed in counselling throughout as it wasn't easy to process the sudden ending of my long-term marriage at the same time as beginning something new. It's been about 7 months now. My ex-husband eventually decided he wanted to try to save the marriage again, but I declined.
He left you twice.
Good.
He says I'm the asshole for starting a new relationship so quickly, within 6 weeks of him leaving.
After you cheated.
Our relationship was over as I could no longer trust him, and he has hurt me immensely. I do not want a relationship with someone I cannot trust. Am I the asshole for moving on?
Absolutely.
I want you to dip in that D, sis. Dip in the D. Because he was dipping through your marriage. He left you 2 times.
Yeah.
He left you twice.
Yeah.
4 weeks. He wasn't compliant during therapy.
At
Yeah.
all.
What are we doing here?
Wasting
He said you
time.
were basically said you were boring. He wanted to see someone else was fit for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He didn't try to work on it. He was already cheating. He was already on his way out. Came back probably for a place to stay until he could leave again and get his 1-year lease. And that Pashun to you. Gunshots. Love that for her. I love that she got into a relationship.
Yeah, I don't think she's the asshole at all. Like Marie's right. He left the first time they were actually on holiday, and then they had to rebook flights, go back home. He left then,
spoiled
came
an
back.
entire celebration.
Yeah,
he
he
couldn't
came-
just go through
No,
with
but
it.
the first time, then he came back for 7 days. 7 days he was at the house. Then he came back, and then when they
Stayed for
tried
4 weeks.
marriage counselling, yeah, he said no, he was done. He didn't even really participate in it. So, no, sis, like you actually actively tried to work on a marriage.
Yeah.
He ended it, and then you moved on. And to find out that he only admitted. By the way, he only admitted
Thank
to
you.
one emotional affair. Okay. Sis even said, Opie said that she didn't have the evidence that he was possibly physical with somebody else. I'm telling you right now,
That's
if he
because he
admitted to one,
deleted.
there's more. And it's because he deleted all evidence. So you are definitely not the asshole. You actually tried. You tried.
Yeah.
Dip in the
You're-
D,
yeah,
man. Dip in the D. Get your man.
honestly, not the asshole. And congratulations on your new
Exactly.
relationship.
May it long
Don't
be
let your
long.
current relationship stop you from your new
Meeting your
relationship.
husband.
Hey, come on. I love that for her.
Let me
I love this for her.
Let me read the top comments. So, comment 1, he was expecting Opie to stay single and still want him and not move on while he did whatever he wanted. Opie responded and said, in our state, couples must be separated a year before they can file for divorce. But yes, we will be filing when we
Good.
can. The wait sucks though. Another
I think
top
it's a year,
comment.
no? Sounds like it's a year to wait, no? In most
Yeah, it
places.
says must be separated a year before
Okay,
they
okay,
can
okay.
file. Another top comment is, not the asshole, he left you twice. I guess you were supposed to sit around wallowing in tears while he went off doing whatever and whoever until he was ready to come back to you. Comment 3, gosh, if only he hadn't cheated, broke up with you on your anniversary,
Right.
quit therapy, broke up with you again, moved out, got a divorce. Yeah, this is all your fault, not the asshole. Go live your best life. Here.
Swinging on that D.
What?
I always want to emphasize. No, because you know what? People think when men think when they break up with women, we're shriveled up on the corner
Yeah,
somewhere,
I know.
we're
living
so
on,
sad.
waiting for them to come back. I wanted to swing and do cartwheels on that D. Absolutely fabulous.
We deal with relationship breakups differently.
Yeah.
So apparently when a woman breaks up, well,
Yeah, it's
what,
during
she
the
has
relationship.
heartbreak, no, not necessarily even that, but
post.
when the relationship breaks up, apparently like women grieve it, go through it, even if it's crying for like an entire year, 3 years, or however long, we go through it and then we come out on the other end. But whereas apparently when guys go through breakups, they hit the town, like literally they go out, they start meeting new people, talking, only to realize they haven't actually dealt with the grief of the
Yeah, yeah,
breakup.
yeah.
So then they go into the grief, and sometimes like Opie's husband, then he realizes he missed out on a good thing and wants the old thing back. But sadly, because of the way we grieve, it doesn't always like match
Align.
up. It doesn't always align. So therefore, she's moved on now. By the time you've come back, she's moved on.
I'm just
Like you
so
should have hit her
happy
up
for
in the
her.
first few months.
I'm just so happy for her because
Yeah.
do you know what? He cheated and he couldn't even try to like, I don't know, what is it? Just enjoy the anniversary, the moment. You didn't have to do her dirty whilst you're on holiday. That's why I'm just like, do you know what? Just
Yeah.
like have some compassion, have some consideration. He could have broken up with her after. Like that would have been fine, but you ruined a perfectly good holiday that, you know, both of you are probably looking forward to as well. 2 days in, it ended. And yeah, I think whatever numbers he's admitting to, 2 women, I think is higher. And
For sure.
100% physical cheating definitely occurred as
Yeah,
well.
not just
Like,
emotional.
come on, like he's only gonna confess as much as he thinks that you can manage,
Yep.
and that's it. So I just think, do you know what, sis? Enjoy your life. Have a really good time with this young buck. 'Cause
He's
what,
not young. He's
42 and she's 47. So I really like that for you. Yes. Have
Yeah.
a good time, enjoy him, and get that divorce.
Not him expecting that she'll just be sitting around waiting for him.
Isn't that
Good
what they
for
all
her.
think?
Literally, good for her. Move on, sis. Enjoy. Oh, I've got an update. Okay, so the update 5 months later. I originally
Ooh.
posted, am I the arsehole for moving on so quickly after my husband left me? I'm not sure how to provide an update, so I hope this is right. The biggest update is that my ex-husband, 48 male, and I, 47 male, are finally officially divorced.
Good.
Yay! We split everything equally and I brought him out of the family home. Thankfully, the divorce process was quick and easy once we waited a mandatory separation period for our state. When signing the divorce papers, he asked if I was sure I wanted to proceed. In brackets, notably, while he was seeing someone else. Okay. He wanted to try again if I was willing. I wasn't. And thankfully, he didn't fight it or make the divorce process more difficult in any way. My ex has been seeing this woman for quite a while now. I know he knew her before we split, but I do not know if he cheated with her or not. It doesn't matter to me. I wish him the best. My relationship with my new partner, 42 male, has continued to be amazing.
Aw.
It's the best relationship I've ever been in, and I can honestly
Love
say
that.
I've never been more happy. He is kind, loving, and a great communicator. We moved in together a while back, and a few months later, we became engaged. We plan, that's so lovely. We plan to elope sometime in the next year. While it may seem crazy, I'm extremely grateful for my ex's cheating and the following heartbreak. Without it, I may not have found the happiness I have today. Wait, top comments. Him asking if you're sure while he's in a relationship with somebody else takes the cake. Between him wobbling one way or the other and that, I can surmise a man who doesn't know what the fuck he wants and is
Yeah.
always chasing what he doesn't have. Good for you for moving on. Comment 2. Based on what you mentioned, you can bet he's going to reach out when he finds out you're completely over him. Hang back and watch.
So wait for it.
Oh, I'm really pleased for her.
I'm so happy for her.
I love a happy ending.
Do you know,
No,
I'm
it's
so
good.
happy for her.
I'm really happy
And
for
it's
her.
true. He's definitely going to reach out when he realizes she's engaged.
For sure.
Or married
or
again.
married, close to getting married. What I definitely know is exactly what the somebody commented. He doesn't know what he wants, and it's true. He's not content. He
may be going
always
through a midlife crisis.
possibly,
48.
quite possibly.
Yeah.
But I
That's
think
crazy.
he is currently at this point where he keeps chasing the next best
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah,
And I really love that she said, "Take me out of this race
yeah.
because I want no parts."
I love, love. And not her having missed out on good love this whole time. It's okay, sis. Enjoy it now. That's what I'm saying. Swing on that.
Wow, Marie. No, good for her.
No, listen.
My story comes from Am I the Arsehole? Am I the arsehole for abruptly cutting my ex-fiancé out of my life? Probably not.
Probably not. Yeah.
I, Mel, 25, met my now ex-fiancé in my first year of college. We were both 18 and went from friends to lovers pretty quickly. We clicked so well and everything was so easy and effortless. We had a really good relationship. It's the kind of relationship that everyone wishes that they're in. The kind of relationship that people idolized and said, if those two break up, then love doesn't exist. You get the picture.
Wow.
For the purpose of this post, let's call my ex Ashley. Ashley was everything I was looking for in a woman. Funny, smart, attractive, down to earth and family oriented. She wanted to build a life together. Our families got close over the course of our relationship. It was like we were already one big family before we even got married. As planned, I popped the question a year ago, not knowing that this would change everything.
Oh.
She said yes, of course, but things started to change. Slowly but surely, over the months, she became more distant. I tried to ignore it and chalked it up to nervousness. You know, cold feet before taking the big marriage plunge. I should have trusted my instincts. She always went out with her group of friends on the weekends. I've been on these outings before. Usually it's clubbing and drinking. It's not my scene, but I trusted my girl, so I had no problem with her going without me. These outings became much more frequent after I popped the question. I tried to ignore my gut instinct that something was wrong about this. I should have listened. Last week, I get a text from one of her girlfriends. She said she feels super guilty about what's been going on. According to her, Ashley has been worried about getting married. She feels that she hasn't had a chance to explore other options, and the prospect of getting locked down for life made her feel really anxious. On these outings, she will frequently flirt with guys, dance with them, grind on them, make out with them to get it out of her system.
Hey, she's
Since
on a cheating escapade.
Since she wasn't having sex with them, she didn't consider it cheating. According to the friend, she also gave one guy a BJ in the club bathroom.
Okay, sis, that's cheating her.
She sent me pictures and videos from some of these escapades.
Hey!
My heart sank. I felt like I died that day.
Whoa.
I thanked the friend for telling me and told her to keep it between us. For me, any form of cheating is a big no-no. I knew it was over. What makes this worse is that I have a past with cheating. She knows about my high school ex who cheated on me, and being a stupid teenager, I tried to end it all.
Oh.
Whoa.
This just makes this whole situation cut even deeper. She knows how much hurt she could cause and still went ahead with it. I wanted to crawl into bed and cry for a month. I wanted to be weak. I felt weak. I decided I would give myself the chance to mourn and cry over this after I protect myself. Me and my fiancé share an apartment that we both pay 50-50. I decided to take 2 days off work and covertly started to move my things into my brother's house across the city. He knows about everything and immediately offered his place to me.
Wonderful
The,
brother.
the first day I moved non-essential items out. When Ashley got back from work, she made a comment about it, but I brushed it off by saying I sold some stuff and took some more stuff to a storage unit to tidy and clear space up in our apartment. She didn't question it. I was furious on the inside about everything that I found out about, but kept cool to avoid suspicion. She noticed I was a bit withdrawn, but I told her I was just tired and stressed from work. The second day, while she was at work, my brother and wife came over to help me pack everything else, and I fully moved out by 3 p.m. that day. Since then, I have avoided every single form of communication sent by my ex. I have completely cut her off. I refuse to talk to her or her family. I don't even want to confront her about what happened. She came home that day and saw everything was gone. She texted all of my friends and family, who in turn texted me. But I only responded to my parents, who are fully behind me and my decision. Her family and friends are blowing up my phone and saying that I'm an asshole for leaving without a word. They've even been blasting me on social media. I don't really care. She knows what she did. To me, she is dead. She doesn't exist. Because of this backlash, my brother and his wife are now also questioning if it was right of me to completely ignore everyone. This has caused me to doubt myself a bit. So here I am. Am I the arsehole?
Yes and no. I would say, yeah, you are, because you owe her an explanation. Like, we're all adults here. She deserves an explanation, even if she has been doing terrible things. Like, she has a right to know why you left. Like, you didn't just leave the relationship, you also left the home that you shared with her. I think that's quite cowardly, and I just think that's not the right way to treat someone that supposedly meant a lot to you. So I think you're definitely the asshole for doing that, but you're not the asshole for ending the relationship. No, she deserves it. It's almost like she wanted it as well. So yeah, and there's evidence out there of her cheating or flirting, whatever it may be. Like, are you dumb? Why would you have evidence?
That went
I'm
on like a
sorry.
rap word. So we got to the hook. Are you dumb?
No, but why would there be evidence out there? Like, it's almost like she wanted to get caught. So yeah, definitely yes and no.
No, there's no evidence. She just sent him videos and
That's evidence.
That's
images
evidence.
from
Her
when she
friend-
went out, not of her do.
The blowjob.
Oh, actually, no, you're right.
Yeah,
Sorry.
There's evidence.
That's
Sorry.
evidence. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
If I'm doing stuff I shouldn't be doing, I'm not going to document it. Like, get smart, sis. But yeah, yes and no for me, honestly.
Yeah, I agree. I think he should have communicated. I think even if it was the most basic level of
Listen.
communication, such as
Like, you cheated, I left, done.
I know what you've been doing when you go out, and I get that you were scared, but you didn't have to cheat on me. That in and of itself, that would have been enough, and then go about your business.
Exactly.
But yeah, the fact that she knows of his history and it was to the
know.
point that there was a suicide attempt, that's crazy. Why not just speak to him?
Listen, what do you think?
You know how I feel about these things. I think she's a critter. But I think that I agree with both of you. He should have, even if it was a note
Listen.
in the apartment to say, you know what you did, I'm gone. I think that would have been more than enough. But I have to say, before you guys mentioned that, I was going to say, no, he's not the arsehole.
Really?
No, because do you know what?
Because what she did is outrageous. So
Agreed.
because
No,
no, I
is.
understand. And like I said,
Communicate
until you
it.
said it,
Do you know how crazy that would send you? Like, all of a sudden, I don't have a boyfriend and I don't have a partner
I understand.
that lives with me. That's
Same for me.
crazy.
Same for me. I also don't have a girlfriend, and I also
No, I know, but you would. But
it works
no,
both
you
ways.
would want an
Except I know
explanation.
why.
Yeah.
Where, that's it.
No,
It's a cold world out there. It's a cold world, and you know people are doing really scandalous things. So here's a little piece of your pie. I probably would have said it later, but then first 2 days you can suffer.
Fair enough. Yeah.
That I would have let you suffer because
Yeah,
you did
but
me
eventually let
dirty.
her know.
Yeah,
No,
you
obviously,
have to. That's
I would eventually
crazy.
send a message and say this is what happened. But the first you can go crazy. You can go
Also,
crazy.
do you know what? At some point, sometimes you have to think like, do you want tit for tat? Because that changes the entire like narrative of the breakup as well. Like him not communicating to her and saying, "Oh, it's because of this." It makes him look like the bad guy when he isn't a bad guy.
Yeah, but he doesn't
So-
care.
No, I get that. It's
give a
not
heck.
Like
it's not-
what is perception anyway? Forget perception. We're
Perception
only
is like,
dealing
what
with-
is it? What's the saying? It's like two-thirds of everything.
Perception is not reality in this situation. Let me tell you, perception's neither here nor there. Fact of the matter is, she cheated, he knew about it, and that's the end.
And he left.
All he needed to do was, communicate with her, whether it was just so you can draw a line.
Exactly.
Draw a line underneath that and continue. But yeah, he doesn't. Do you know what he doesn't owe her, though? Yeah, what he doesn't owe her is a conversation. That's what he doesn't owe her. But a simple text to say, it's over, you did what you did, and yeah, whatever. So we do have an update.
Lovely.
An overwhelming amount of people have convinced me to reach out to her parents and give them an explanation to clear my name. I will update
Like I said.
I will update when I get a chance to tomorrow. Thank you for the responses. One of the top comments said, "Not the asshole for cutting her out, but honestly, you need to tell everyone she cheated. No point taking the blame for what she caused. Tell them, block them, move on."
Right.
I
Yep.
agree.
Agreed.
Spot on. Okay, so there's another update.
Okay.
After an overwhelming amount of people screamed at me in the comments to speak out,
Not screamed.
I decided to break my silence. I didn't want to make this whole thing public. Despite what she did, some part of me still cares for her. I was with her for 6 years. You can't just throw that away overnight. I came to the conclusion that the right thing to do was to talk to her parents. Only her family need to know. Everyone else can have whatever opinion they want of me. I don't care. The people who truly know me are the only ones I care about. I sent a detailed message of what happened to my closest family and friends. All of them, of course, believed me right away, no pictures needed. I didn't feel like it was necessary or appropriate to spread those pictures of her, so
Yeah.
I didn't. Now that the people I care about were sorted, I moved on to her parents. I messaged her mum, who, by the way, I'd gotten so close to, I considered her a second mum and she considered me a son. She was very upset with me, but agreed to meet up. I felt like this needed to be an in-person conversation rather than a nuke I dropped in an email with everyone they know CC'd. I met her mum and her dad at a diner we used to frequent for breakfast. I know, so cliche. It was quite emotional. They were understandably upset. They didn't do anything wrong and I cut them out of my life like nothing happened. I understood why they were upset. So when they were confronting me, I was very quiet, just listening, letting them get it all out. I admit I was tearing up with them. That is, until they accused me of some things. It's been a whole week since all of this went down. In that week, a lot happened. Apparently, according to her parents, my ex convinced everyone that I cheated and she kicked me out.
Hey.
And I haven't been answering anyone because I was so ashamed of what I had done.
Madness. She knows.
LOL, capital letters. I
Wow.
literally laughed out loud. I responded by saying that I am sorry and I wished them a happy life and walked out. I was
What?
so fucking upset I couldn't even have imagined of being accused of this. What a fucking joke. I can't believe her parents would believe her and throw me under the bus so fast. I walked out because I was pretty sure I would have said some things I'd regret to her parents. I didn't want to do this, but she left me no choice. I activated the nuclear option.
Not the nuclear.
Oh, my
He dropped an email to
gosh.
everyone, innit?
Good for him.
Whoa.
I went home, made an email titled "For Your Reading Pleasure"
Hey.
and attached
They're
every
telling the Bella.
picture her friend sent me, including screenshots of the chat with her friend where she expressed how guilty she felt about the cheating.
my
I also
gosh.
attached the videos of her grinding and making out with other guys. I included a long explanation detailing everything that has happened since D-Day. I ended the email by saying I do not wish to be contacted and that I expect my ring back at some point. I attached her parents, any friend I could think of, and a co-worker that I just so happened to know as well. fuck it.
Oh.
So that's where I'm at now. I may be the arsehole for sending that email, but she really tested my fucking limits when I found out what she was telling people. I have zero regrets. Currently crashing at my brother's place on a pull-out couch. He's helping me get through this as much as anyone can, I guess. Who knows what kind of fallout that email will create? Either way, I'm going to sit back and enjoy it with popcorn whilst sobbing.
Bless him. Wow, that went
Thoughts?
from 0 to 100
Blup,
real
blup.
quick.
Blup, blup.
Real quick. Thoughts, I think
We have another update, by the way.
it all ended really messily. And I do think, do you know what? This is like TV shows. Sometimes, like when I watch shows and like movies and stuff, yeah, I'm like, this can't be real life. Where you just see opportunities where the person just needs to explain everything and everything would make sense.
Yeah.
But instead, they go off and do something dramatic. They walk out, or do you know what I mean? And I'm just like, it could have all been different if you literally just explained what it was. Like, whilst OP's ex-fiance's parents were explaining and saying that how they thought he cheated, why didn't he just correct them? Like, he didn't need to do what is obviously then ensued in terms of the email and the whole like bomb and pictures and details, etc. Like, that I always think is like a last resort. Because I'm like, damn, especially when you send it to parents, I'm like, whoa, I don't think parents need to have certain pictures, videos of you. Like, you're still their child. Like, they don't need to see you in compromising situations and no. I think that's all a lot. Like, I get him. Don't get me wrong. You lot know me. Like, I can be a hothead. Like, when it's time, that's it. You can't convince me otherwise. Like, I'm doing what I set out to do. But at the same time, I do think, like, it could have all been averted and just, like, ended in a way that was a little bit more peaceful. Like, do you know what? Sometimes you just have to laugh it off. Like, some people are so pathetic, or they're just they're not worth you spending the time like stooping down to their level, if that makes sense. Like, she chose to go low and try and say that he cheated, etc. I get it,
crust of hell.
but he went deep, and I'm like, do you know what? If you really want to like dead everything, just explain it and walk away. But like actions like that, dropping pictures, emails, etc., you know there's going to be lots more thereafter. So it's like you didn't want a clean finish.
Okay, listen, I actually really respect his move.
No, only because May is a savage at times. I'm telling you.
Because I'm liable to do the same. But listen, the reason why I truly respect what he did was because you're going on like she's just telling the parents this story.
No, I know, but
she is.
If he doesn't care about other people, why does it matter what they think of him?
No, because she did the one thing that he will never do to anyone. That's why he has a principle, and she crossed that line, and she also knows his backstory, and she still did it anyway. And then she's fabricated an entire storyline that doesn't exist to her parents in order to justify and explain why suddenly her fiance walked out. Because
I'm trying to be a mature. I'm trying to be a mature individual. Do you know what I mean? I'm trying to be a mature adult.
I respect what he did. And do you know what? If I was the friend that was beside him as he constructed this email, I would have said, do you want me to press send? Yeah, that's who I am.
I know who you are, yes.
No, because it's like
No, I know.
He's clearly an emotional person as well. He said, in bracket, I'll be sobbing.
Yeah, eating popcorn.
He said he's cried about this situation.
Yeah, I know.
He's literally gone through it. He said he was in turmoil. He was willing to end it all when he was younger. He
feels a lot.
He feels a lot. And so for her to take the one thing, that was a really big moment in his life when he was younger, and to say that's something that he did to her.
She could have said anything.
Say
else.
anything else.
She could have said anything else.
He grew distant in the relationship. But don't say cheating, and then you know for a fact that it's not the parents that she's telling the story to. She's telling it to everyone.
Just that I don't know. Even if you do know, that's like a really nice cop out in a relationship. He ghosted me because technically he did. To then go out and start lying on him. So you do know what you did. Take her out.
Not that being summary.
That is the summary.
No, because what do you want me to say?
I am dying.
Okay, so we have an update.
Oh.
Okay. I wanted to take a quick moment to thank everyone that reached out to me and offered kind words of support and advice. The reason it took me 2 months to be able to come back here and write an update is because so much has happened in such a short span of time that even I'm having trouble processing it.
Oh,
Whoa.
come on, tell us. Tell us the goss.
Listen.
What's the
I'm here
411?
for it.
The fallout after I sent that nuke of an email was catastrophically hilarious.
Not catastrophically hilarious.
Catastrophically hilarious.
Okay, I'm here for it. Go on.
Okay. My phone was blowing up with my ex's friends and family asking me tons of questions. Before I had sent that email, everyone was under the impression that I was the cheater and was kicked out. That email not only cleared my name, it basically turned everyone against my ex. Rumors of what had happened started circulating at her job. I attached one of her co-workers to the email, if you remember from my last update.
Oh, damn.
Apparently-
She needs to quit that job expeditiously.
Listen,
So apparently she couldn't take the embarrassment in it and ended up quitting.
I would.
Her
Yeah.
parents were less than impressed and refused to take her back in.
Not her being homeless.
They reached out to me and apologized for the way
God.
things went down. They recognized that they didn't have all the facts and judged me too quickly. I'm cool with them now. They told me that my ex was struggling to make payments for half of her rent. When I covertly moved out, I contacted our landlord and explained the situation. We only had 3 months left of the lease, so I paid my half for those 3 months, so I'm in the clear.
Okay, so
Honestly,
you didn't leave her financially in
It
debt.
was
that's
worth
good.
it, even though I'm not living there. Our mutual friends also didn't take too kindly to being lied to and basically being manipulated to hate me. From what I've heard, most of our shared friends don't talk to her anymore. Even some of her girlfriends who knew what had been happening behind my back stopped talking to her, which is a little ironic if you ask me. I guess now that everything was public, no one wanted to be associated with her. And speaking of her friends, remember the one that initially came forward to me about this because she felt so bad? Yeah, so we're dating now.
I thought so.
I knew it.
I thought so. And that's why she told you, bruh.
Thank you.
That's why she came forward.
Oh,
Woman to man.
wow.
She's like, I've got to. I can tell you what's real. I feel so bad for you. Just be quiet.
She was collecting her husband.
That
He was
was
trying
a-
to collect her future
That was
husband.
a chess move.
Wow. Chestnut
I
checkers.
guess through all the trauma, drama, and craziness, we started messaging more and more.
Mm.
At first, she was just very supportive. She comforted me and helped me come to terms
course
with
she
what
did.
happened. But slowly and surely, we became closer and closer and started to talk about our lies, our interests, our dreams. We recognized we had a lot in common. We were also both single and young. We kind of just fell right into it naturally. She's honestly so great, very kind and loving. I am aware that some people may think that this is just a rebound, but I'm really enjoying my time with her and things are going great. I feel great.
Oh, that's nice.
Since everything went down, I have had no contact with my ex. I've heard through multiple friends that she's livid that I ghosted her and won't even talk to her. She says what I'm doing to her is torture because I won't even give our relationship closure. I just laughed because if she thinks what I'm doing is torture, then she's clueless about what she put me through. I'm honestly good. I will go the rest of my life without ever talking to her again. Call me petty, call me dumb. I am who I am, and I feel this is right. As for me, life is looking good. I'm dating an amazing girl. I've gotten so much support from my family and friends. It's nice to see who are the real ones. You know, the ones that actually stuck with me throughout this whole ordeal. And best of all, I feel like I'm really moving on from this whole thing. Hope this update gives you all closure. So many of you messaged me needing an update. It just took me a sec to gather myself to be able to write this in the midst of all this craziness. Take care of yourself, Joey Spaghetti.
Yay! Love that for him. I don't have anything
Aw.
to say. I think that was well rounded.
Yeah.
That's what I think as well. Okay, so one of the top comments was, did you get the ring back? And responded saying, I did. I had to threaten legal action.
Wow.
My ex was stubborn, but I ended up getting my ring back through her parents. LOL.
Wow.
That's
Yeah.
very embarrassing.
Yeah, I think that was
10 out of
Perfect.
10.
yeah.
This little drama should
Wow.
be, expanding into a short story. I'll be there. Tell again. That's a good book.
Yeah, My only thing is the motive of the friend that went and told
I knew it. The
her.
minute you said that she had one of her friends, if it was not a guy, I said that girl wants him. I don't care what you say. It's been 2 months as well.
Yeah.
Please, they're talking about overtime.
That's
It's been 2 months.
But then
Yeah.
also, I feel like if I was watching a TV show, sometimes you need to stop. You need to stop kicking the table.
I'm not
Seriously.
kicking the table. I'm just moving my foot.
Okay.
Which then hits the table, which is called what? Kicking the table.
Okay. Can you get back at it?
Yeah.
Okay. I just feel like if I was watching a TV show, I can see like a group of friends and one of them's really, really nice. And she sees the guy that she would love to be with getting cheated on regularly. And she sees that her friend like almost have the life that she wants. And so there's an element of jealousy, but there's also just like, why can't she be with that good person?
Mm.
And so I guess she then did what she needed to do to get that guy. I'm a bit unsure as to how I feel about her in this situation. But outside of that, I feel like it was well rounded. And I really hope that he goes off and this relationship or the next relationship, whatever relationship he's in, you know, it's one that's, if it does come to an end, unfaithfulness plays no part.
Yeah.
For sure.
I'm really excited to share my story, guys.
Okay.
I'm really excited. I think you guys are going to love it. Okay. Am I the asshole for telling my sister that I won't be her surrogate? Excuse the errors and etiquette. I'm not as frequent to Reddit. My friend suggested I use her throwaway account to make this post, so please be gentle with me as much as strangers on the internet can be. I, Celeste, have an identical twin sister. We'll call her Stacy for the sake of the story. Our mother unfortunately passed in child labour and we were raised by our father. Stacey has been married to Jeff for 8 years, and I have been in a relationship with Mike for 3 years now. One thing I've always known about my sister is that she wanted to be a mum. Even when we were children, she was always thinking about wedding ideas, nursery themes, baby names, etc. I was always more focused on books and having fun. I'm now a flight attendant. I'm also attempted to become a published author. My sister has not worked ever, honestly. When we graduated high school, we went straight to college. She met her boyfriend in college and once she graduated, became a stay-at-home girlfriend until she became a wife. I've known for a while that my sister has been attempting to become pregnant, unsuccessfully. She has experienced a single miscarriage and has been unable to become pregnant again after thousands and thousands of dollars being spent on IVF and pretty much anything they could do because she wanted to experience pregnancy. After 5 years of no success, they have started to discuss other options. My sister isn't interested in adoption and is very adamant on having a child that is both of their DNA. Her words, not mine. About 3 weeks ago, she came into my house and we were hanging out as we usually do, just chatting and watching Modern Family. She told me she had a serious question and needed to ask me while she still had her nerves. It scared me, but she asked if I could be her surrogate. I was frozen for a second and asked what she meant. She told me that I know what a surrogate was. She needed to me to be her surrogate. I expressed that she knew that I wasn't interested in having children. This could definitely be due to how we came into the world, but I'll be honest and say I have never, and this is in capital letters, found the thought of having children appealing in any way. I have told her I would have zero issue with donating my eggs to her, however many she needed, and could have them all. But I could not carry her child.
Yeah.
Upon hearing that, she became so angry. Her face was so red and she was just yelling about how it's obvious how jealous and hateful I am because of this small task.
Wow. All the way there, yeah?
I didn't want to bring it to her attention, but she has always spoken about having more than 4 kids. Would this expectation be for me to do this every time? I don't know. I'm starting to feel so bad. She ended up telling me that if I couldn't do this one thing for her, how could I ever call myself her sister? She broke a picture
What?
of us that was sitting on my mantle and stormed out. Since then, she's only texted me pictures of her diaries from when we were kids and all her vision boards saying I'm stopping her from creating a family for no reason and to think about the bigger picture. My boyfriend refuses to give me advice, good man.
It's true.
Good.
It's
Good man.
true. It's true.
Saying that it's my sister and he doesn't feel comfortable attempting to sway me in either direction because it's such a touchy subject. Honestly, this is the longest I've gone without communicating with my sister, and I'm seriously on the verge of giving in. And then she writes, am I the arsehole for not wanting to be a surrogate for my identical twin sister?
No.
Wait,
No.
edit. I'm reading all the comments and I want to say thank you so much. I feel so much better knowing I'm not the villain, but I will be lying if I said I'm not leaning towards just doing it. This disconnect with my sister brings me immense discomfort in ways I cannot verbally express. But I see two frequent questions and I want to answer them to hopefully get different answers. So to clear things up, 1, money. My mum did not die of natural causes. It was a provider error. My father sued the hospital and my sister and I have sizable trust with that money. So money is not an issue for either of us. And her husband is financially well off as well. So not working for 9 months or paying for egg retrieval process, etc., isn't an issue in any way. It's more so her stubbornness for the baby to share our DNA and for one of us to be carrying it. 2, since we're identical, if she can't have a baby, how can I? Her lack of being able to have a child is due to a car accident we were in, which is also the source of the miscarriage she experienced. Due to her being in the front seat with our father, they took the brunt of the crash, unfortunately. Her body is now unable to carry a child, and she has had an extreme complications with her egg retrieval. I'm not sure about the details of how that has gone wrong, just that it's not working and not an option. It is hard to get her to discuss non-viable options so I can gain a better understanding. 3, doctors will not allow me to be a surrogate due to me not having a child. Thank you so much for this information. We have a family dinner this upcoming Thursday because we always catch up with football with our dads and significant others. I'm sure this topic will come up if she decides to attend. I'm hoping I can bring this to her. And then she's explained, most doctors would refuse to allow to be a surrogate as you've not previously had children. She'll be hard pressed to find one that would. Not to mention, she's asking her sister to sacrifice her body and
Thank-
potentially her life to fulfill her dream. That's not fair at all. If she can afford IVF, she can afford a surrogate. Right. What do you think happens next?
Okay, firstly, my thoughts. Her sister is the asshole.
She's a psycho, bro.
That's what I think as well.
She's a
because,
flipping psycho.
Because do you know what? It's so
Told you it
being
was juicy,
pregnant
innit?
is
Hey.
taxing on the body,
Listen.
the mind. Like it's so taxing. And she's asking her sister it's not even about money. She's asking her to give up 10 months of her life, 9, 10 months, however long. Being pregnant is taxing in several ways. So that's a selfish ask in and of itself. The OP said she'll help her in every other way.
Yeah.
This is somebody who actively wants you to win. She wants your dream to actually become a reality. But you can't take that win and she'll give the eggs, your identical twin. I mean, you're lucky. You literally have somebody with your exact DNA profile. Yes, it's such a selfish and such a big ask, and yet nothing within her can see that. I think it's crazy, and also it has the potential to ruin OP's marriage. Like
Relationship.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, yeah,
she's
she's a
married. Yeah,
boyfriend.
she's married.
No, she's not married. Boyfriend.
Oh, sorry, her relationship. It has the potential because hormonally she's going through a lot. I don't know how that relationship continues. I don't know. I just think the ramifications are so big. But it's
what do you
such a
think happens
selfish
next?
Wait,
ask.
can I say my thoughts as well?
And what
then
do
we
I
can-
think happens next?
Yeah.
I think I don't know. I think like somehow she legally tries to bully her. I think she's crazy at this point, by the way. So I think legally she somehow tries to get her sister to do it. I think she's not going to let up though. That much I know.
Okay. Go on.
My thoughts is she, like, similar to me, honestly. And as I said before, I think she's a psychopath because honestly, like, she's not asking for flipping sweets. She's not asking for a girl's trip. Like, she's asking for her sister to put her body, her
Life on hold.
life, her emotions, her mental health on hold to fulfill her sister's dream of being a mother, but also
And what,
the
4
fact
times?
that she wants, yeah, exactly, she wants 4 kids. She doesn't just want one. Her sister is so
Selfish.
inherently selfish
And entitled.
She's so selfish and entitled. And the thing is, like OP said, that money isn't even an issue for them, etc., etc. Like, my dear, you just want a surrogate.
I know.
Why does it have to be your twin sister? Like, if she'll give her, OP said that she would give all of her eggs. She doesn't even care. She's had no desire to be a mother, so she'll give you her eggs if that seems to be lacking. She'll help you in any other way, but she just doesn't want to carry the baby, and yet you still have a problem with that.
And-
like, a surrogate is a surrogate, regardless
Yeah.
of whether
And
it's
I
your
was gonna
twin
say, and if
sister,
it's
whether it's
in
your
the
mate, your
US,
friends.
If it's in the
a
US, it's
body.
legal as well. So like, she'll be really lucky. She can
No,
find
but
a
it's
surrogate.
just a surrogate is just a body. Like, it's your eggs, your partner's sperm, etc., etc. It's just a body. Why does it have to be your twin sister? If OP's got any sense, she won't let up, because I'm telling you right now, if May ever turn around and try to do that nonsense to me, anyway, she knows I'm not the 1 or the 2, so it's not gonna happen.
But it would likely be
But-
the other way around.
Yeah, because I'm the one that likely wants kids, but that's still on the fence. But anyway, I would never ask that of May. Like, I would honestly, we're
And I
identical
wouldn't
twins,
ask that of you.
and vice versa. Like, I think that's incredibly selfish. And do you know what it is? She's so manipulative. Like, she's first of all, she asked, and then she demanded. Then she got angry, and then she broke a picture of them as
And
well.
now she's sending
And
pictures
now
of
she's-
her diary.
Yeah, she's a psychopath.
She is.
I'm so sorry. And also, honestly, a personality like that does not seem that they'll let up after 1 child.
I'm going to tell you that.
She's a psycho.
So I promised an update tomorrow, but my dad actually ended up calling me while I was hanging out and told me to come over for dinner yesterday night so we could talk. I wanted to start by saying thank you so much for all the comments and advice. Some of you were jerks to not only me, but my sister and boyfriend as well. I still appreciate the help. I didn't even ask about what my dad called. I figured he had spoken to Stacey. Based on the comments, I know you guys won't be happy, but I spoke to my boyfriend about where his head was at if I were to go forward. He told me that he loved me and would support me through any and everything, but he would not continue to sit by while my sister made me feel like a trash bag. And if I was doing this under coercion, he would not be able to support me, which I honestly completely understand. When we went over to my dad's for dinner, my sister and brother-in-law were already there. I spoke to them both and we walked in, but only my sister replied.
What?
My brother-in-law gave me the most disgusting look and greeted my boyfriend only.
And you want me to carry your child? You're mad. You've lost it.
My dad sat down at the
You've lost
table and there was just this awkward silence and
Right.
tension I could cut with a butcher knife. He said, somebody talk. We need to get through this. Resolved before the game tomorrow night. My dad loves football. I started off the conversation by telling her that I did some research and on top of my initial concern, I now had a few more and needed to know exactly what she needed from me. I first asked her what being a surrogate would look like. She just said, are you agreeing to it? When I told her no, I just
No.
needed more details, she broke down crying. I asked her if she knew that a doctor would deny me from being a surrogate given that I've never successfully carried a child to term. She said she knew that and she would just send my brother-in-law and I to a center of excellence where we can pretend we were a couple, and once I'm successfully inseminated, then I would request a transfer from that provider to her OBGYN for the continuation of care. My father intervened and said that asking me to do something a doctor wouldn't sign off on was a terrible way to attempt to begin motherhood. You could tell he wasn't on board with any of it, but he didn't want to pick a side. He asked her why she was so uncomfortable with the idea of a surrogate, and that's when my brother-in-law interjected and said, don't try to berate my wife with these stupid questions. Talk to your selfish bitch of a daughter about why she can't help her sister. That immediately shifted the mood.
That's how he spoke to his father-in-law.
My boyfriend started to yell at him for calling me a bitch. My dad told him he could not disrespect his daughters in his home. Everything just went up in flames. My sister was crying, asked me to do her this favor, practically begging. I told her if I could trade places with her, I would, but I was scared and I didn't want to die. I think That was the first time I said that out loud ever.
Yeah.
We couldn't get more solved after that. My dad asked my brother-in-law to leave because he couldn't control himself and refused to apologize. When he was walking out, my sister told him she would meet him in a car, asked me to come and talk to her on the porch, just the two of us. I went out with her and she apologized for her husband calling me a bitch. Said that they were on the edge and it's been very stressful. I told her she shouldn't apologize for him and that we'd figure something out. She asked me to reconsider and kept saying, "You just don't get it. You don't understand." When I pressured her for more, she admitted that her in-laws made a cruel joke at one of their dinners recently and about how she was a murderer, referring to the child she lost. She said she
Wow.
asked him why he didn't stand up for her when they made this joke, and he said because it was true. He made some weird comments about her not being able to make up for it and how he was so excited to see what their child would look like and how he could never be able to look into a child and see pieces of them both. So she had the idea of me carrying the child and he was super on board. But the way she said it, it was like he planted a seed and she seemed to believe it was her idea. She said she hadn't seen him that excited since the baby and she just needed my help to get everything back to normal. I tried to explain to her that nothing would ever be normal again and that what she was trying to do was the wrong thing. Wrong is in capital letters. But he just started blaring the horn, rushing her to the car, and she said she'd call me later. I feel like I may lose my sister, but now I'm not even willing to donate my eggs for her to have a baby with him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
he's
took you guys' advice and looked up egg donation process, and wow, not at all what I expected. I want her to divorce him.
yeah.
I'm never going to help her procreate with that man. I genuinely think I'd be a surrogate for her to be a single mum before I'd ever allow her to
Yeah.
place
Good.
his child in me or take my eggs to even create a child with him.
Good.
I had no clue that his family was pushing so much guilt onto her. I have literally been jumping at my phone every time it rings because I know she'll be calling me soon and I have to tell her that. I am terrified I'll lose my sister, but I can't and won't do this. Probably won't update anymore, but thanks for all the help. I'll probably create my own Reddit now because I'm kind of obsessed with the site. Update 2.
Oh,
Wait, sorry. Can I just say, I no. Before the update, I'm like, blink,
Blown away.
Stacey, if you need help.
listen.
Blink if you need help. She sounds like she's trapped
In a
in
really
this
bad relationship.
Yeah, but she sounds like she has no idea that she's in a bad relationship. For
None.
him to sit there and support his family calling her a murderer is
He said
crazy.
it's true.
He said, yeah, they're not saying anything wrong here. I'm
Update 2.
Go ahead.
I know I said I wouldn't update anymore, but so much has happened and I can't explain the weird relief I feel typing my madness onto this website. My friend did say I could just have this Reddit page, which relieves me so much stress because Lord knows I wouldn't have made one if I had to do it myself. I had to watch a YouTube on how to properly use this site and what some of the things mean because people kept on commenting I was karma farming. That's neither here or there. Onto the update. A lot of you suggested that I be more careful around my brother-in-law for fear
yeah.
that he would become violent. I did not listen
Whoa.
and I kick myself for that now for not doing so. I thought I knew my family well enough and this was a bump in the road. How extremely naive of me. My sister called me back in the morning the day after he called me a bitch. I unfortunately missed the call because I was in the shower. When I called back, no answer. It was a normal day until we got to my father's house that night for football. Kickoff had just happened when my sister walked in. She asked my dad if he could come outside and talk to her husband. My dad said no because the game was on and he could either wait until the commercial break or he could come in and apologize like a man in front of everyone who witnessed him disrespect me.
Thank you. Yep.
She took her breath and told him he wasn't being completely fair. She tried to bring up a previous situation, drawing likeliness, and it infuriated my dad. He told her how he didn't raise her to make herself small and weak for a man,
Good.
and said whatever he did that made her think this is how you have a healthy relationship. He was sorry for failing her as a father. Her eyes started to water and she just stormed out without another word. When I went out to the car after the game was over, I had 2 flat tires and a broken passenger front window.
Oh my God.
What?
My dad put 2 donuts on the car, used the truck to tow the car into the garage, and he told me to take his other vehicle and he would get the car fixed and I could come and get it whenever I had time, but not to worry. He asked if I wanted to stay for the night. I declined.
She
I
should say yes.
I called my sister and she didn't answer. So I texted her and said a lot. But for the sake of keeping some of it private, I said, I can't believe this is where we are. Loving a man should never call for destroying your family in the process.
Thank
She
you.
responded by saying, that's the problem. My family is already destroyed and you aren't willing to help me put it together. I again tried to call her after that. No answer. On the drive home, I noticed the car following me. When I was
Whoa.
able to get a better view, I realized it was my sister's mother-in-law's car. I know this only because she has a very distinct car decal and I have literally never seen anywhere else. I freaked out and called my boyfriend asking him to meet me back at my place. When I pulled up at home into the driveway, the car pulled in behind me. Luckily, my boyfriend was turning down the street. By the time my brother-in-law got out of his mum's car and tried to walk to me, my boyfriend was running out of his car yelling at him. Jeremiah immediately started yelling, I just want to apologize. I just want to apologize. Him and my boyfriend got into a small scuffle before he got into his mum's car and sped off. He did hit my boyfriend's car in the process, but it didn't appear to be intentional and his car is still drivable. After this, I obviously didn't feel too comfortable at home anymore. I
Yeah.
packed a bag and went to my boyfriend's house, and I haven't been back home since. My dad did add a camera and a floodlight to the back door and driveway. I'm honestly not too sure I want to go back. Although I know I will have to at some point. Yes, I reached out to my sister. No, she did not answer or respond at all that night or the following. After that, I would notice that one day a red car would be following me, the next day a black one. I know you may say I was scared and just thinking people were following me, but I would notice them, begin to drive to the police station per instruction from my dad,
Yeah.
just for them to turn around once the station was in sight. On Sunday, I went to brunch with a few friends to celebrate one's upcoming wedding and discuss bridal shower details. The waiter came to me and told me my husband was at the front and it was an emergency. Thinking it was my boyfriend and she was just mistaken, I went up to find my brother in law. I approached him in an attempt to not make a scene, speaking low and asking him to leave or I would call my dad. He told me that everything just went too far and he just wanted to apologize. We were kind of in a doorway and it was just awkward, people funneling in saying, excuse me. So I suggested we step out and get out of the way. When we went outside, he apologized for calling me a bitch and said he didn't feel that way. He told me I didn't understand how hard it was for him and I cut him off there saying how hard it was for him didn't matter to me because his behavior was becoming too chaotic and abusive to not only my sister, but everyone else. He told me that he understood how I could feel like that, but he asked me again to reconsider. He reached for my stomach and I instantly stepped back
Oh my
and told
God.
him he needed to leave and we could set up to talk another time with my dad. But him stalking me was an issue and we could talk later or I could call the police. He grabbed a fistful of my hair as I was walking back to the restaurant saying, don't fucking walk away from me.
Whoa.
Honestly, I don't remember much after that. Everything just went really quickly and a few bystanders got involved. He ended up fleeing before the cops could come. A report was filed. 2 days ago, he tried to come to my airport terminal, telling them that he was my husband and there was an emergency. Same BS as the restaurant. He was arrested after refusing to leave. He was, of course, bailed out and has since taken to messaging me the most vile messages.
This guy's a psycho.
It really is.
My sister did leave after the show that he put on at my job. She's currently staying with our dad, but has been asking me to drop the charges, making excuses for him, and has been very adamant that he didn't hit me at the restaurant, despite my literal scalp bleeding because of how hard he yanked my hair and the small scratches I have on my neck and arms from him continuing to escalate aggressively when strangers were trying to help. Some of the texts are him telling me the vile things he's going to do to me. This man is wild.
So I mean,
He's
Violent
going
is
psycho.
an
like
understatement.
He's like
Wildly
like
dangerous. No,
understatement.
but
He
he's
needs to
really
be in jail.
dangerous.
He needs to be in
wow.
jail.
He's
How he'll get me
dangerous.
pregnant and I'll be stuck with him for the rest of my life. How
What?
he knows that I'm the woman who is going to bring him a son, and if I don't make it
Oh
easy
my
for him, we'll
gosh.
both die before he gives up.
What?
Yeah.
Has she got a restraining order against
No, that's
him?
a really dangerous individual.
Just really concerning. I blocked his number, so all of these are coming from a random text now apps. Told the police, and they said there's no way to prove it's actually him. So until he acts on it, nothing can be done. I am literally scared all the time. My boyfriend drives
Yeah.
me to work, and on top of the regular precautions, I take more, and I can barely sleep now. I sent my sister a screenshot every time her husband messages me, and she has taken to no longer interacting. My dad has asked me to stop doing this because it's beating her down, but I told him that I can't even believe she defended him during some of this, and she needs to see the harassment that her husband is committing. I feel defeated, and I don't even know if me and my sister can come back from this. I feel like I've basically taken over my boyfriend's life, and I feel terrible about it. He hasn't said anything, but his regular gym visits are cut sometimes if he has to pick me up or drop me off, and I have to go to work or if I go anywhere because I'm just so scared. Being gone for a day due to flights, I know allows him to do more of his routine, but now we're basically forced to live together, which I enjoy, but I'm not sure he does. We got into an argument the other day about the AC temperature. I feel like my life is slowly devolving into madness and I can't breathe. What do you think happens next?
I don't know.
It's
at
actually
this
getting from
point.
bad to worse, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's
like
like-
rapidly. as well.
Okay, like I'm genuinely. I've watched too much SVU.
I'm
Next thing
scared
we're
for
gonna hear, she
her.
dies.
Yeah, I'm really
Because-
scared
Well,
for
she
her.
won't write that in, will she? Sister.
The update is her writing, you donut.
She's like, I've come back as a ghost.
I know, but I wanted
He
to keep
killed me.
updated though. I'm dead.
Girl.
The next one will be if you don't hear from me again, I'm dead.
Or her twin sister finds it and she
Girl.
updates us.
Okay. You guys
Mace-
are laughing. I'm being serious.
I think you've been watching a different SVU because the dead don't come back.
Listen.
Okay.
Auntie.
No. Okay. My thing is, I like her sister. I just want to shake her.
I know.
It's like,
Well, it seems like she's in an abusive
she just-
relationship and she's clearly
Yeah, I know, but the
Stockholm
fact-
syndrome. Is it Stockholm syndrome?
Yeah,
Stockholm
Stockholm. Yeah.
syndrome, yeah.
But the fact that now she's like her sister's now part of this horrifying situation is crazy, and then it's impacted the her sister's partner. It's mad. What happens next? I don't know, but I'd really like the brother-in-law to be in jail though.
Yeah, he deserves it.
Okay. So, last update. This has been absolutely insane, but Reddit has a place in my heart forever. I'm going to shorten this as much as I can. If you have questions, I will answer them when/if I can. My boyfriend realized I was looking into apartments. I absolutely was going to temporarily rent an apartment like an idiot and asked me why. I told him that I felt like he wanted his space back to himself and he proposed.
Oh, love
I'm
that.
literally
Same.
engaged. Now I feel a lot, and this is in capital letters, better about taking over his apartment. I posted in the advice Reddit explaining that my brother-in-law was escalating. He approached me in a grocery store. I unfortunately did not do well with standing up for myself there. Not my best moment. He broke into my home, did some damage to my bedroom, and
That's
broke
a
a few things
psycho.
in my kitchen. He knows I love, and then she puts in brackets, mugs and espresso machine. No, I wasn't there, and yes, cameras were installed after. I took a leave of absence from work, basically staying holed up in my fiancé's, in brackets, holy crap, apartment. My sister has been ignoring my texts and not engaging with me until I got a random call. When I answered, she was on the phone sobbing. I asked her what was wrong, thinking something happened to our dad. She explained that she had been following her husband and she knew he was following me. She said she was telling me because she went to the police and they explained that they were sending someone out to talk to me. We sat on the phone for 5 hours. She explained that after the hair pulling incident, her light bulb went off and she went into PI mode. Explained that it got to a point where she was concerned for my safety, which is why she made a decision to go to the police. She apologized for putting so much pressure on me. She said that while she would like to blame it on her husband, a tiny piece of her was actually shocked I said no. She explained that the DNA aspect doesn't matter to her. It was my brother-in-law that insisted on that, and she just wanted her family to be whole. She will be staying at my home with me just temporarily until the divorce is final and the dust has settled.
Yay!
I'm
She's
sure he
free.
won't make the divorce easy, but they do have a prenup, so it shouldn't be too difficult. And then she put in brackets, what do I know? I'm not married, ... yet. And then she's put laughing face. Sorry, I'm literally so excited. Sidebar, I did find out after my father slipped and shared that my sister actually had proof that her husband burglarized my home. She apparently held on to the information because she needed to decide the right thing to do. He said that when she told him that, he told her he didn't have a choice and that he made her go immediately. She apparently didn't put up much of a fight. My dad said he feels like she just needed someone to actually say it to her for her to get it. But I'm not 100% sure how I feel about this. I am happy she has made the right decision in the end. The police came to my fiance's apartment the next day. They took my statement and explained to me that they wanted to simply have an agent patrol me for a day in an unmarked, and if he followed me, he would be arrested. They didn't inform me of what car was following me, but did say it would be happening immediately. So if I felt I was being followed, not to panic, basically. He was literally caught within 2 hours of leaving.
Oh, good.
He was literally caught within 2 hours of me leaving my fiance's apartment. We went on a date, and literally as we pulled into the third location, he was pulled over and arrested.
Good.
I drank more margaritas than I should have that night at the restaurant. The detective did tell me I would be getting a call from the DA's office, which I assume will be tomorrow. Honestly, based on how this has all gone, I doubt they'll hold him accountable much. But I am hoping that with them having his phone, there is physical proof that he was
Yeah.
sending me the texts, which will add to his punishment. I appreciate everyone who told me to get a gun. I'm actually terrified of guns. A kid from my high school was playing with a gun and killed himself mistakenly. No, it wasn't in school or anything crazy like that. It was in his home, but we heard about it. It reinforced my fear of guns. No guns for me, but I did buy beer spray and a knife. Wow, and girls, you have to have something, This man is wild. I have had my first flight back at work this week, and I'm so excited to be back to my regularly scheduled program. Today's football games were amazing, and I'm able to watch them later with my sister, my dad, and my fiance. I hope I don't have another reason to update this ever. Thank you all so much. The end.
Aw.
I can't even say that was like a well-rounded story. I think only in terms of their relationship, her and her fiance.
Yeah.
But outside of that, it was scary,
So messy.
intense, and just like there's so many red flags.
I think
There's so
so
many
messy
alarm
as well.
It was
bells.
so messy.
Like,
Quite
literally.
scary for her. What an ordeal. Something that you don't even want to have kids chasing him down because some man is obsessed with you having a twin and wanting that child to look exactly like his wife. Very crazy. Him stalking her took a turn.
He's very dangerous, and he's also, again,
He's
a psychopath,
extremely-
bro.
I really hope that they have restraining orders, both the sisters.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like it will matter.
I know,
No,
but
it's
something
best,
has
it's best
to
to
help.
have it.
You need to have it anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's best to have it than not to have it. But I'm glad that, OP and her fiance are obviously engaged. I don't know how her and her sister will get along, because do you know what? Her sister let a lot of shit slide.
A
Yeah.
lot.
Which, honestly, me and May are incredibly close, obviously identical twins too, and we wouldn't let that shit slide. That's just not on. So I
'cause
hope that they
holding,
can.
Her holding on to the information about him having burgled
Yeah.
her house and then sitting on it for a bit, when that's a straight. There's only one plan here.
She's like
it's go
under
to the
his-
police.
It's like she was under his
That's
spell
what
or something.
I said. Blink.
Yeah,
Because it
just
was
all a
so
bit weird.
obvious that he had this really dominant control over her.
Crazy. But yeah, he deserves to be in the jail. Yeah, that's where he needs to be. Her sister, she needs to
She
get that
need-
divorce.
She needs therapy, you know.
And yeah, probably therapy
This is
because
I think they need
Yeah, 'cause
therapy
they-
together, and they
Yeah.
needs she needs therapy separately.
Yeah.
Especially if they're going to move on from this, because obviously I'm not a twin, but I know how close they are, and to break that bond over something that's quite traumatic on both sides as well is
Yeah.
and the fact that she didn't even care about how she got a child, but then
Yeah.
insisted so much on it being her sister.
And then also knowing the history, the mum died.
Yeah, like she knows
Giving
everything, and they
birth.
had a car
Yeah.
crash.
So it's just,
So,
they
yeah.
definitely need to work on their relationship
Yeah, they need.
with the assistance of professionals.
Yeah.
But that was a
That's one hell of a
rollercoaster.
story.
hell of a
that
story.
was a roller coaster.
I said these
was
girls are gonna
great.
enjoy this.
that was a lot.
I said that little May, she's on the edge of her
I
seat.
was
And
on
where
the
were
edge.
you?
It was intense.
And that's it. That's the end of our special with Reddit updates. The stories were wild, like especially the last one, especially as a twin. But I hope you enjoyed it, and we will see you on the next one.
And have a lovely Boxing Day.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.